hitting the go live 15 minutes before we were supposed to start, but that will allow people to gather. And I'm not lying about the start time because we have a little bit of admin work to do here. Alright. Manage check-ins. Now, tonight we have some European players who stayed up for this, so it just popped over to 7:30. We had an hour of check-in, so I'm not going to wait for Challenge to figure out what time it is. It takes them forever to do that. So I'm just going to do the check-ins. We had 29 out of 34 check-in. That's good. We have to go through the first round of the bracket and make sure nobody has a bad matchup. Tomb Kings versus Chaos Dwarves, not great. Skaven versus Tomb Kings is fine, but we'll see. Dark Elves versus Nurgle is pretty bad. Chaos Dwarves versus Nurgle is probably playable. So Chaos Dwarves versus Nurgle. Dark Elves are on standby. Kislev versus High Elves. I feel like that's playable for High Elves. Empire versus Slaanesh. I mean, Slaanesh is a lot of bad matchups, so playing him at all is risky. Dark Elf Lizardmen is fine. Grand Cathay Greenskins. I think it's fine, but a lot of people don't. So I'm going to put Dark Elves down here with Grand Cathay. Dark Elves can definitely handle it. Slaanesh Warriors of Chaos is miserable for Slaanesh. Greenskins is playable by both sides, though again, Slaanesh is slightly disfavored. It's Slaanesh! I don't know what you want me to do about that. Alright, Lizardmen, Chaos Dwarves. That feels fine. Demons of Chaos Empire feels as fine as Demons of Chaos is going to get. Slaanesh Norska feels fine. Skaven Norska is pretty bad. We have Tzeentch. What the fuck is that down there? There's just an extra branch that goes to nowhere. Did it just change everything? Did it change everything? No. Ogre Kingdoms, want to avoid that. Demons Chaos High Elves feels pretty bad for Demons of Chaos. Skaven Norska feels pretty bad for Skaven. So let's get Dwarves, Ogre Kingdoms. I guess. Demons of Chaos, High Elves. I don't know. That feels really bad for the Demons of Chaos. That's a lot of archers. Could we do Warriors of Chaos, High Elves? Demons of Chaos gets a bye round. Tzeentch here. We still need to deal with Norska Skaven. Norska Demons of Chaos is pretty playable. And then I'm going to swap his dudeness down here for Booge because, you know, Skaven. Might as well not do that. Ogre Kingdom's Dwarves, I'm still not super sure because, like, Gotrek Starbreaker is really good at slamming Ogre Kingdoms like nobody's business. But I don't know if that's a dwarf thing or just he's really good at it. I could put Tzeentch down here. I don't know. I'll see what my admin says. Okay. Groot and Lucy, can you refresh and check bracket for bad round 1 matchups? If none, we will start. Okay. So I had 2 of my admins ahead of time volunteer to check it, so we'll see what people think. I'll have to fight Tomb Kings right away, which is fine for Skaven. It's fine. It's also fine for Tomb Kings, but it's probably a 50-50 matchup. Because Skaven don't really like dealing with undead. But Tomb Kings don't have a lot of things Skaven are worried about. They don't have cheap summons that you can throw at them like the vampire counts. They don't have dog units like the Coast. They do have Cav, but Cav are more susceptible to globes. And their frontline is lackluster. All of the undead frontlines are lackluster, though. But Tomb Kings don't have the access to self-regenerating monstrous infantry like Crypt Horrors, and they don't have access to cheap monstrous infantry like Animated Hulks. They have Ushapti, which are good, but expensive, and they're hard to heal. So out of the 3 undead, the Tomb Kings is plenty doable. I think Vampire Coast is an even matchup, but that seems to just be a me thing. Most other Skaven mains don't like that matchup, so don't know. But Tomb Kings is pretty fine across the board. Bone Giants can be a little scary sometimes, but Okay. I gotta swap out one matchup. Tzeentch Chaos Dwarves. I'm gonna check with those two and see if that's better. Because one of them's messaging me that Chaos Dwarves Lizardmen is really bad. Ogre Kingdom's Dwarves is horrible, by the way. I thought I avoided that. Oh, no, I thought about it and I didn't. Okay. So what if I do this? Ogre Kingdoms versus Chaos Dwarves. Tzeentch versus regular Dwarves I know is fine. Alright. One of my admins said Chaos Dwarves versus Ogre Kingdoms is slightly Ogre Kingdom's favorite, and I'm like, is that meant to be don't do that, or is that fine? Because slightly shit happens. Alright, we got and it's fine. 2 more people are typing. Oh, okay. Koala just sent me a message, and that's fine. Hang on. He was saying you don't want 2 ogres back to back, so I'm just switching this. Nothing else changes. He just meant Fat Kid at Recess has Ogre Kingdoms too. Okay. One more ping. Cool. We're good. And it is 7:38, so anybody out there who's like, boo, just started already. The stream start time was 7:45 for a goddamn reason. It's because I knew I had to shuffle this, because you can't just have dog shit matchups at the start. You can't do it because someone goes to the thing, and they're like, hey, I'm going to play some shit, and then it's like, Dwarves versus Skaven is your round 1. Have fun, chump ass. We're not going to do that. We're at least gonna get you 1 win. Well, not 1 win, but one decent thing. As I typed in Discord, to the people, we will be casting top 8 to finals replays, because it's late night for some people. Some people in Europe stayed up all night for this, so let's just get them on their way and get them moving. Otherwise, you'll be watching my perspective. If we aren't at the top 8 by the time I get knocked out, like if Complex Slayer just hands me my ass, we'll probably follow Complex Slayer to go fight Rocket, just because that's nice and simple scheduling-wise, rather than sitting around waiting for a different best of 1. Because after that, right, so if Complex Slayer beats me, I'll watch him versus Rocket, and then we'll be in the top 8, where I'm going to cast every replay anyway. Cool? If I win, then obviously you'll follow me to fight Rocket, and they'll be in the top 8 anyway. We'll probably follow Complex Slayer to go fight. Shut up, me. So yeah, tournament started. The admin portion of this broadcast is over. But I appreciate your patience. But once again, your patience was not warranted, because technically the stream was supposed to start for 6 more minutes. I was just starting it early to allow people to gather, because we're already at 40 people, and earlier we were at 15, so maybe you should think about that before you... I don't know. Anyway, what's happening tonight? We got Faction War Qualifier, ladies and gentlemen. So we have 2 qualifiers. One's on Sunday, one's today. Sunday, just being realistic. The Sunday one, Sunday, will be my normal qualifier format. Which means everyone plays as a faction. And if there's one player who plays as the Demons of Chaos in the whole tournament, even if they lose round 1, they got the furthest any Demons of Chaos did, they're in the tournament. Tonight is different. Tonight is to fill out the 8 black boxes you see on my blocker here. The 8 black boxes in that second column. That is to make a bracket of 32, because there's 24 factions in the game. We would have 8 bye rounds in the first round, which sucks ass. No one wants that. So I just added in 8 more slots that are mercenaries. Like, once the people from tonight's tournament, the top 8, qualify for the Faction War, I will message them after the tournament and be like, hey, bro, who do you want to play in the Faction War? Like, any faction in the whole game. As long as 2 of the black boxes don't pick the same faction, right? Because, like, our Faction War is 24 factions and then 8 more Bretonias. So, like, whoever wins the tournament, I'll give them preferential pick. So if they pick Tzeentch and, like, whoever got 7th picks Tzeentch, then I'm like, all right, the first place guy picked Tzeentch, so he won the tournament, I'm going to give that to him. So, tonight we're determining those 8 other spots. If you saw this, you're like, shit, there's a Faction War and I didn't even know. Come back Sunday. Sign-ups are still open. I mean, hop in there. I don't give a fuck. Just randomize 4x and watch your DMs blow up? Yeah. Okay, we got Skaven versus Tomb Kings. I was rambling about it while I was setting up the stream, but I do actually have a build for this that I just deleted. God damn it. Alfair was talking to me about helping him. I mean, he has a ton of people helping him. I'm not trying to make this sound like, I did it. It's me. I'm great. He's gathering up a bunch of people to populate his Discord bot with builds for certain matchups. So I gave him some Skaven ones, and one of the Skaven ones I gave him was versus Tomb Kings. It's going to be really funny now that I've announced that, and if I take this build, and if I get shellacked... Oh, yeah, I gave him a build versus Tomb Kings. It works every fucking time. Gets slaughtered on stream. Okay. So I gotta take the blocker down because we're already into the game. Tonight's tournament should go pretty fast. It's best of 1. There's no pick and ban because you already know what faction you're gonna play. People should be getting through things quite quickly. Hi, Kaiju. Thanks, Antoyevich. People are talking about the matchups. I clearly wasn't reading chat for that because I was looking at the bracket, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed your comments, but I'm gonna just skip past those because I'm just an idiot. The Tomb King player immediately summons Bellacorns to play instead of... Oh no. Okay. Sorry. So, John was messaging me some silliness, and I need to focus. So what's this build? What's the point? I have a front line of Skaven slaves and plague monks because it does not matter. Versus the Tomb Kings, there's going to be two options. They're either going to bring Tomb Guard, which Plague Monks trade about even into, or they're going to bring Skeleton Spearmen and Warriors, which Plague Monks destroy. If I bring Skaven Slaves, they're either going to bring Tomb Guard, which slowly kill my Skaven Slaves, maybe Nehekara Warriors, which still kind of slowly kill my Skaven Slaves, or they'll bring Skeleton Spearmen and Swordsmen, which hardly kill my Skaven Slaves at all. So there's no reason to do Clan Rats, really. If they bring Ushabti paired up with, like, good infantry, your Clan Rats are just as fucked as your Skaven Slaves. The Plague Monks are the only ones that even stand a chance in that scenario. We do have globes, but the globes in this matchup are mostly for Nehekara Horsemen and Skeleton Horsemen. And then I guess punishing, like, super blobs that I can come across, but it's not as much for the infantry clearing. I have 3 Plague Monks for that. I'm going to be fine on killing off his infantry. My main concern is Cav Overload or something silly like that. I'm going to back up my Warp Lightning Cans a little bit because they have abundance of range. And if he has Ushabti Great Bows, I want to use my range advantage over him. I do have 1 Giselle. It's just nice. It's safe value that's a little harder to shut down by the stuff that'll kill my Warp Lightning Cannons. Like, if he has Bone Giants, my Warp Lightning Cannons will be in a bit of trouble, but the Giselles can pick up the slack. If he has the Ushabti Great Bow ROR, then my Giselle is fucked. The Warp Lightning Cannon should be able to kill it before the Giselle's in trouble, so it's just kind of like diversifying my fire. And then we do have Rat Ogres to counter Chariots or monsters or anything like that. And Lord Skrulk on the front line. Archon might Spirit Leech him or whatever, but if this gets into a super long, drawn-out game, I'm in extreme trouble anyway. So, how the Skaven want this to go is fast and to the point. Win or don't. If we get into a super long Spirit Leech game, then yeah, Archon's going to be a disaster for me, but whatever. Alright, just making control groups quick, then we can get going. Not you two. You stay here. Okay. Warp Lightning Cannons. What do we have? Ooh, Screaming Skull Catapults. Okay. Everybody move up. Except for you. And except for you. You, instead, are going to shoot at Chariots? No, there is the Chosen of the Gods. Alright, shoot the Chosen of the Gods. I'm not going to bother counterfiring the Screaming Skull Catapults because it takes Warp Lightning Cannons way too long to deal with that. I'll have to kill them with Globes and Summons and Giselles. It's just going to be safer. Okay, Ushabti Great Bows. Are you guys going to fire at my poor little Giselles? Is a Carrion worth bringing a Rat Ogre back? Yes, 1. I'll bring 1 Rat Ogre back. Okay. So we're successfully chasing off those guys. Oh shit, my front line stopped moving. Go, 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 go. Must keep moving. I just need to give them all attack orders. Okay, so we have Carrion back here. My Rat Ogres will play their little part. Giselles are going to have to shoot the Chosen of the Gods. Now that I'm out of range, I'll fire at Chariots instead. Carrion have landed. And I don't need my Globes to support the Plague Monks. I will use my Globes to support the Skaven Slaves, but not the Plague Monks. I'm going to move my Rat Ogres in a bit because he has Chariots. And we don't like Chariots. I will finish off the Chosen of the Gods with my Liber Gribonicus because I don't want to... I don't want to deal with them. I just don't. Okay. Sepulchral Stalkers, there you are. Let's throw out a Rod of Corruption onto these Chariots. And then my Giselles are going to move up and start taking out some of those things. In the backfield, still trying to take out Carrion. My Skaven Slaves can move up and just be a bit of a nuisance. But the Plague Monks are doing what we wanted them to do. My Poison Globes are getting murdered, but, I mean, them's the breaks, so... I'm going to chuck that out just for the sake of getting a bit more damage on the field. And I'm going to abandon the Chariot Chase here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Giselles shoot at Chariots, and I'm going to use my Rat Ogres as soft dogs. And they're just going to run back and deal with these Plague Claw Catapults themselves. Globes have finished off some guys. I'm going to move them over here to help with this. My Jezzails are in extreme trouble, but an Ushapti summon is appearing on us. So I'll try and walk my guys away while dealing with that. Globes are going to move up. Plague Monks can deal with this. But yeah, now we're killing off the Scream Skull Catapults. Sepulchral Stalkers are coming for us a little bit, but sometimes that's just life, ain't it? Alright. This Rat Ogre can go help me deal with those Carrion, while this Warp Lightning Cannon can fire at the Sepulchral Stalkers. That Screaming Skull Catapult's gonna die on its own, so I'm gonna abandon it. Arkin is fucking Fate of Bunying me like a punk ass. I don't really have good targets, but like look how well Plague Monks are doing, man. They're just holding down that front line for me like I need them to. Killing off the Screaming Skull Catapults, we're feeling good about that. Carrion shattered my Warp Lightning Cannon crew. Oh, we don't like that. Still some Skaven slaves coming back. That Ushapti summon is fake, so I'm going to largely ignore it for now. Sepulchral Stalkers are charging into melee with my Rat Ogres, but shit happens. I'll have some Skaven slaves go after that next one. Other Skaven slaves can go after that one. Arkin's been fighting that same Rat Ogre for quite a while. This Ushapti will go away someday, I tell myself. Well, let's get closer to Arkin. Plague Monks still doing well. Poison Globes. Can't really deal with that. I'll Liber Bubonicus him, and then I'm going to walk ominously at the Sepulchral Stalkers. Because I really want to hit them with my Rod of Corruption. He gets good damage onto my Rat Ogres on the way in, but I think he's going to have a hard time defending his stuff. And god damn it! The Carrion slipped past me. Oh, no. At this point, I'm abandoning the Warp Lightning Cannons. It's just not going to work out. I still have all of my summons, but I didn't get Skrulk in a position. That's as much my fault as it is anything. But I didn't get Skrulk in a position to throw his summon over the front line and get onto the catapults. I should have done that in retrospect. I was using him to peel off some chariots and stuff, and maybe that was the right call, but it doesn't seem like it was. It seems like it was probably not worth his time. Army losses is closing in. That's roughly how the build is supposed to work. Because the Plague Monks just give you a lot of frontline pressure that we like push through the Tomb Kings and put them on the back foot, so then time was on our side. Which if you just have like pure shooting, maybe the Screaming Skull Catapults would have done better versus me. Because they did a lot of damage to my globes, and the Jezzails got pushed off too. So Screaming Skull Catapults did their job there. It was just like, I think I had better infantry than he was expecting to deal with. Because when you deal with Skaven, you're kind of expecting to see Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves, and like Plague Monks can get, I mean, this guy got 135 kills, so it's a lot of skeletons to not have. So we'll advance to fight the fucking Lizardmen. Fucking Lizardmen. I'm nervous about fighting the lizards. Pillar of Bone got very big. Ah, shit! You're right, I picked the wrong map. You're right, Loopy, you're right. Wait, no, I didn't pick anything. I didn't pick shit! I wasn't the lobby host. I didn't do nothing. Hey, you made the bracket. I made the bracket. It's true. But I also don't play favorites towards myself. Skaven Lizardman is... I mean, it's bad, but it was a round 2 matchup. I balanced myself for the round 1. Okay. I gotta fight lizards now. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. Okay, Rocket. I'm here. You bastard. I don't want to fuck around. Because my first inclination is always when I'm playing someone I know, I'm like, I should just take something stupid and lose. But we shouldn't do that. I played seriously versus Complex. I'm going to play seriously here and now. Oh god, but it's the fucking Lizardmen! Okay, what? Sorry. Human Boy, I'm upset with you. You said you were gonna try hard, and then I see you in turns tourney, and boom, Queek. Well, there that went. No, whoa. When did I say I was gonna try hard in turns thing? Hold on. Now, because I don't think this is incorrect, but maybe it is. I viewed turns thing as a good advertising opportunity to say, hey, over here we know how to have a good time. Hey, if you want to see some hype ass land battles, come hang out with Human Boy. So I might have. Ooh, I built my build without a blocker. Fuck. Anyway, so hey, maybe come hang out with Human Boy and get fucking Eshin Sorcerer to use the -24 leadership scroll to kill off his lord. That was kind of cool. And then I took my boy Queek, and yeah, Queek sucks ass. But sometimes it's not about the win. Sometimes it's about advertising. Because they'll fucking remember the Queek Eshin Sorcerer game where the Eshin Sorcerer's -24 leadership scroll killed off the Herald of Slaanesh, and then the very end came down to an overcasted Warp Star almost killing that fucking Marquis of Masochism, and her demonic instability crumbling stopped. It started and stopped, and she rallied to finish off my Eshin Sorcerer, because if that bitch died, I had it. I fucking had it. All I always remember is that you lost. I hate all of you. I think a win is better advertising? Nah. Cheers, Human Boy, long time no see. Hell yeah, dude. Alright, we gotta fight some Lizardmen. So what's this build here? 2 Poison Wind Globes, just because, like, you need them. They're a good unit, and you just kind of need to have them around, right? So with 2 Poison Wind Globes, I want to have 2 Plague Monks in the center. And then I'll have a Clan Rat, and a Skaven Slave, and then another Skaven Slave, and then another Skaven Slave, and then, like, one here. Because I don't want my globes to be throwing directly on top of my Plague Monks. I want them to be throwing on top of Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats. So the Plague Monks should be relatively out of reach. Do have 2 Spears that I can put onto... It could Zap, but I also have Dogs. And the Dogs paired up with the Packmaster, I can give Shock Collar, give them a lot of stats, and that'll help deal with Ripperdactyl Riders. We have some Rat Ogres for some mass, but they're not actually that good versus Ripperdactyls, unfortunately. It is a bit of a problem. More Blinding Cannons to deal with large, spooky monsters. So, here's a problem with this build. And I know it, but I don't know how to fix it yet. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of pings. Okay, sorry. I do know a weakness with this build, and I'm hoping Rocket doesn't. It has very, very little to deal with Pterodons, and I didn't think Pterodons were any good until the last time I played this. I got fucking murdered by Pterodon Kite. So that's not great. What do we have? Yeah, it's the Shredder. Okay. So I'm going to put both cannons on the Shredder and then move everybody forward. I don't see anybody behind me just yet. But we need to just tax down the Shredder. He's starting to dodge now, so now I'm going to target Mazdamundi as well. And start putting him on cooldowns. Okay. I mean, if you want to fight Skaven slaves, dude, I'll go fight your actual globes. Anyway. Press through, go get to there. You need to back up away from that fucking thing. And he has no Ripperdactyls, so my wolf rats are just gonna have to try and peel feral cold ones, I suppose. Ow. Here's this before you get out of range. I'm gonna throw down a Howling Warp Gale just to lower everybody's leadership and such. Mazda puts a bit of a wrench in my normal plans for this matchup. Because Mazda is a piece of shit. Okay, I'll let these dogs chase off the feral cold ones. Everybody else has to come back. We're up on balance of power for now. Like I said, I keep chucking that out to keep refreshing the lore passive and lowering everybody's stats quite a bit. Okay. Dogs chasing off feral cold ones. Looks like they're going to shatter them in a second. So I guess I'll switch targets onto that other feral cold one. Skaven slaves can go over here. Rat ogres can come up here and peel for my globes. Plague monks can come back. You guys can fall back a little bit. I'm going to give these rat ogres ITP so they don't immediately rout, but I'm going to give my actual guy his orders onto other stuff. I do have a warp lightning. I guess I could try and get some damage out. But here's the point of trying to separate out those warp lightning cannons is now his shredder has to ignore one of my warp lightning cannons to go get the other one, which is fine for me. Alright, rat ogres, come back here. We're doing okay. I'm gonna pop this for more leadership on everybody, but now I can get to Ikit Zap Zap with these guys. And then Ikit Zap Zap can start firing in on them. Wolf rats routed those guys. Cool, come with me. Ikit Zap Zap's almost back online. Speaking of Zap Zap, there's that Zap Zap. And now I'll have this globe turn. These rat ogres can come over here and try and peel the feral cold ones that I knew were coming. Grey is also going to try and get over there and peel those guys. For now, this guy's fighting it out. Ooh, dogs were coming, but they ran into the shredder, and that went poorly. Globes can throw at the shredder because they actually have enough. Shredder's actually big enough. Dude, look how close the balance of power is. I am over double his damage value. It's the state of this fucking matchup, and I hate it. Okay, this warp lightning cannon is going to try and get back online. We have some rat ogres back. We have some dogs back. Dogs can run over there and chase that off. Rat ogres. God damn it. Okay, buff up these guys. Oh, it's a banishment on Skaven slaves? Sure, whatever. It's fine. I have some globes getting hunted down by feral cold ones. It's not great. My Packmaster just routed at nearly full HP. That feels good. Alright, these guys are back. Let's get them back online, please. Okay, Packmaster needs to regen for a hot second. I'm gonna pile some more Rat Ogres in. Zap Zap's back up, fire at the Shredder. Dogs need to come get these skinks off of me. Ding, 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 ring the dinner bell! I'm standing nearby just to offer... The Gracier has local buffs, if you didn't know that. But we do have dogs streaming in here as fast as possible to get these skinks off of me. Globes are back to throw at the Shredder, just for a bit of damage. Throwing out this buff. Alright, skinks are routing. My Icket Zap's back online. I'll save my leadership lowering one more time just for... No, they just terror routed as I gave him my TP, those fucks! Alright, dogs need to go peel those feral cold ones for me. I'm gonna fall back. Shredder is still taking damage. Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres group up with my Packmaster to try and fight Mazda as I shoot him in the face. I am almost up double his damage value! And we're losing! And you might be like, you don't look like you're losing to me. Oh, just you wait, my friends. Ah, my other bloody cannon's back online! Fuck you! You can't deal with the spread out cannons! Ah, god damn it. They shut down one of the cannons. Pop this for yourself to stay alive. Dogs, come back. Packmaster's still trying to get any shots out he can. Oh, but he takes big damage. Run away. Throwing that out for the leadership and melee attack debuff. Still firing away. Globe's gonna throw out the fucking Shredder. Okay, dogs are gonna join me. And I'll give them ITP to help me take out Mazda. Warp Lightning Cannon, continue firing. Globe's just throwing him. Warp Lightning Cannon, get back online and fire. Rat Ogres, pin him in. Also, my Packmaster's doing that thing where he can't attack Mazda because he just, like, he can't catch up to him, I guess. Even though he definitely can catch up to him. I gave himself a bunch of melee stats. Packmaster's taking damage. He's got to fall back. Packmaster took a bunch of damage. He's got to fall back. Don't worry, everything I have is routing, even though we're still 3,000 gold up on damage value. Don't you worry, my friends. We're the ones that are losing. Packmaster's back. If he routes one more time, he shatters, so I need to pop his leadership and just go over here. He's just got to regen for a little bit. Trying to kill that there thing. Mazda has more healing for himself. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. If you thought for a second Mazda was out of healing. Oh boy. You are incorrect. Anyway, we have Skaven slaves trying to rejoin the fight. Let's get some spears in there. Let's try and focus down Mazda so we can rout him, because the Dreadsaurian actually doesn't have incredible leadership. So if we rout Mazda, we can get him running. 19 seconds on my leadership buff. Throwing out a Warp Lightning just to get rid of this. Mazda's taking damage. He's maybe gonna rout. No, he's not. I'm gonna rout. Run away from the Dreadsaurian. Hit Mazda, please! Oh my god, he fucking died! Run, Packmaster, run! I'm 20 speed faster, but it sure don't feel like it. Alright, so he's gonna come for my Grace here. Packmaster gets a rear charge. I'm giving him the ITP. Hey! Hey, does anybody want to guess why this is a dog shit matchup now? Is it because I played that way fucking better and lost? Oh, hey, Human Boy Skaven are still a good faction. Skaven are great. Skaven are fine. No, they're fucking not. They're dog shit. They're absolute fucking dog shit. Does the bombard spell? No. No, it doesn't. Lizard's caught up on damage. Shattering something gives you all of its damage value. Dude, no. 100% serious, though. When I say Skaven are a D-tier faction and everyone gives me shit about it, this is why. This is why. They can't handle it. They just can't. Fucking look at this damage value. It could zap zap, paid for itself with 300 more gold. A regular Warp Lightning Cannon paid for itself 2.5 times over. Rat Ogre, double its value. Rat Ogre, paid for itself. Rat Ogre, paid for itself 4 times over. Globes, paid for themselves twice over. This other globe, half its value. Plague Monk almost paid for himself. Plague Monk got wrecked. Dogs, paid for, if you combine them, they paid for themselves. And then my chaff did chaff things. And I lost! And I lost! Packmaster paid for himself. Everything paid for its fucking self. Let's check the other side. Mazda Mundi, about paid for himself. Shredder, 5,300 value, despite the fact that I was focus firing it all fucking game. His chaff didn't even come close to paying for itself. His jab skinks didn't even come close to paying for themselves. Feral Cold Ones overall didn't pay for themselves. Weird, so one roster didn't pay for itself at all, and the other roster paid for itself in spades. Which one lost? The one that didn't pay for itself at all. Skaven are a fucking D-tier faction, and the more times I see dumbass YouTube comments about like, oh, they're just a kite faction. You don't get it. Just take healing melee kite. I know Green One's trolling me, but also I don't see anybody fucking winning on this faction at a high level. Because you can't! Because you fucking can't! What could I have done better? What could I have done better? Hey! Would've won if you had the Hell Pit Abomination? Hard no, dude. Hard no. Hell Pit sucks ass. Not the kite? It's not real. I've tried kite, it doesn't work. Alright, So Rocket is Rocket and Umayus have both qualified for the faction war. How to join the new player tourney? I host one every week. Usually Sunday I'll post it. So if you know Total Tavern, Turin's site, I always post it there because most of his people look there for stuff. So I'll post it there, and then you just click on it and sign up. I just want to watch the Shredder get shot this whole fucking time. He's juking nicely here for a bit, and then I switch on to Mazda. But Mazda, he has like insane missile resist, doesn't he? 25% missile resist. Oh, I thought it was more than that. Okay. So we're trying to poke him down, because the Shredder was dodging earlier, which is why I started splitting my fire, and then I have the Ikid Zap Zap just taxing Lord Mazda. I'm waiting on quarterfinals, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm watching the replay. And then this thing just aims over and starts shooting at the Shredder. Great. Packmaster and Rat Ogres are surrounding him. Dogs are sweeping up. I've kept everything away from these guys. Throw cold ones, fight some spears. I tried to get my dogs over here, but I accidentally ran them straight at it, so they run into the Shredder. Okay, that's a teeny tiny mistake. The Rat Ogres get here in time to try and peel these guys. They do manage to rout Ikid Zap Zap. No, I get him away, so then it doesn't matter that the dog's fucked up. Dude, the thing that gets me the most, though, is fucking Lizardmen have this hitbox the most, where it's, like, super jank and you can't attack them. Watch my Packmaster follow around Mazda several different times, where, like, the speed difference is insane. My Packmaster's way faster, but I just can't attack him. Dun, dun, dun. So when Mazda starts walking away, that's when it's brutal. Shredder's here, so I need to fuck off. Mazda comes out here. So here. Packmaster runs up with a rear charge. Swings. That's cool. Then Mazda walks away, and I believe I just start walking after him. Oh, I got another attack. Oh, look at you go, little buddy. Yeah, then I just start bumping his butt. I hate it. I hate Slans. Though, on Zlok, he still has the same issue, but on Zlok it is funny that he still has it, but like, melee, regular Slans without mounts are still impossible to hit because their chairs have janky-ass hitboxes. Yeah, my Packmaster just can't catch up to this 38 speed Slan, it's fine. Because his charge animation and just being a big bitch. How does he fucking live? How? Look at the balance of power! It's army lost his territory, god damn it! Oh, this fucking asshole! 1,000 HP! 34 leadership, because he's fine, he's chilling, he's back up to 40. He's back up to 40. Then we charge in. Oh, on the charge, the Skaven slaves rout. On the charge, the wolf rats are gonna rout. There they go. Bye, wolf rats. Try and pick off Mazda. Don't worry, dude. He's at 56 leadership. Why would he ever think of routing when he has so much leadership, you fucking putz? Less than 1K, but it's fine. But it's fine. But it's fine. Oh, 0. Oh, 0. I have 2 different leadership debuffs, and he's still fine. He's just chilling. He's Bing chilling. Oh, my stuff's routing before it even gets here. That's also cool and exciting. Oh, that's so fun. Negative. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are you at 230 HP and your leadership is 28? Oh, your leadership's 28. Oh! Oh! Well, surely I can rout him. Human boy, just rout him. Just rout him. Just fucking rout him. How? How can I rout him? He has 28 leadership at 200 HP. That's 1 leadership for every 10 HP. What did I do about that? What can I do about that? He's never gonna rout. Never. Oh my god. Fuck this faction, man. Fuck him. So we kill him, and then the Shredder's like, nah, I'm fine. That thing still has 5,000 HP, by the way. Ugh. Ugh. Sad. Stormborn Buddy is a hero? Yeah, Ska Bloodtail. How to use rattling guns properly? It's very hard to use them properly, because they don't want to be used properly. Rip. Okay, where are we at? We have some quarterfinals actually getting ready here. So I'm going to have stuff to cast soon. Rocket versus JMG, Chaos Dwarves Lizardmen. Empire for Dr. Nerds just chilling. Kaiju and Shoxy fighting it out. The Grand Cathay versus Slanesh seems very cursed, so I imagine that Grand Cathay will advance. Empire and Chaos Dwarves. Hey, Grand Cathay advanced. Demons of Chaos, Warriors of Chaos. Cool, cool. These are your top 8. They will be in the faction war for sure. For sure, for sure. Now we just find out placement. I will be casting all these games. Probably replays, just because... I mean, I'm not going to make all of them wait. I'm messaging Rocket to see if I can spectate his game live while we wait for the other replays to come in. Rocket, 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 Rocket. There you are. Open a spectator slot. Oh, okay, he says he did, then it just isn't updated yet. Let's go. Bum, bum, bum. There's a lot of well, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are people in the tournament chat right now just saying like I got gatted by the second round matchup or something like that. Like Cathay versus Slanesh is pretty terrible, so at least I'm not alone. At least I'm not alone in getting fucked. Should have used Stretch. The Gracier is really good. The Gracier got me through a lot of that because his leadership buffs, because he has a small AoE leadership buff that help my Rat Ogres and Packmaster stay in the fight. And then he has the Bell, which gives more leadership. So, without the Gracie, you're just doomed. Nice job, Dr. Nerd. How many hours do you have across the Warhammer trilogy? I've been playing competitively for 5 years. I don't know how many hours that is. You had a banger versus Umais? Good. I don't want to think about Slanesh. When is Faction War Qualifier 2? Sunday at 10 a.m. my time. For you, that'd be 8 a.m. Because I have something going on later in the day. And tomorrow we have friends coming down from the cities for our Christmas, which we delay after... We delay our friend Christmas after regular Christmas because everybody's going around doing all these things. So we just like schedule it for January when it's like, all right, everybody's done with your shit. Because then people come over tomorrow, some of our IRL friends, and then everybody brings 2 gifts, right? So in the background here, I have a scarf that we got in Portland, 2 funny socks because some of our friends like socks, a bottle of wine I got in Tennessee while with my dad, and it is Fuego. And then I got a box of playing cards, like regular playing cards, but they have cool designs on them. So those are the 4 Grace and I are offering. So everybody brings 2 presents, and you put them all on the table. All presents are on the table. They're unwrapped. You know what they are. And then we play a board game. And if when we play the board game, we play a board game that can be ranked. So like first, I got first, I got second, I got third. And there's 8 of us. So then after you play the game, you have your rankings, and it's like, first, let's say I win. I go to the table, and out of all the gifts everybody brought, I pick my favorite one. I'm like, this is my gift, this is mine. Second place goes and picks, third place goes and picks, fourth place. So, like, your placement in the game gets you first dibs on a gift you really wanted. And then we'll play a second board game, go through the same process, and then all the gifts will have been claimed by people. So, it's nice. And there's a little bit of politics where, like, especially with couples, right? Because if Grace wins a game and I get 8th place, I might pull her aside and be like, okay, like, we together really want, I don't know, that 6-pack of, like, Mexican beer. Like, that would be lit. Is there anything that you, Grace, specifically want so badly it's not worth getting us the beer? Or if Grace wants something that no one else really wants, and I want something that everybody wants, I could, like, talk to her, and if she get first place, then she could grab my thing, and then we know her thing's not going to get grabbed. The bullets, the China Chaffee burns. Shocks, yeah, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. But the tournament's already halfway over. Nice, crisp, and quick. Best of ones with no pick and ban. Everybody keeps things moving. And once again, our 8 Faction War qualifiers that are coming from this, that are now just fighting for seeding, is Rocket Row, JMG, Dr. Nerd, Anti-Kaiju, Hanadins, Umais, Pigman 202, and the Phoenix King. Good stuff. I'm particularly happy that the Phoenix King got in, because the Phoenix King 2 Faction Wars ago won, and then last Faction War was a semi-finalist. Yeah. So he got first, and then he got third, fourth, because there's no tiebreaker, so it's third, fourth, or something. So it's nice to have him back in it, because then it's like, he's not the defending champ, but close enough. Close enough. But what do we have in front of us? For seeding these 2 Faction War qualifiers, we have Rocket, who just bullied my Skaven into the dirt, beat them up, dunked their head in the toilet. We do have the Clostodon Hunters, our Ripperdactyl Riders. Very nice. 3 Croc scores, one of which is a Sacred Croc score, the cohort of Hwaddle. Some Paracold ones, a Saurus front line with Red Crested Skinks on the flanks, and a Salon Mage Priest of Life with Flesh of Stone, Earthblood, and Bound Banishment. On the other side, for JMG's Chaos Dwarfs, we have a front line of Goblin Laborers, back line of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, 2 Bull Centaur Renders. Both of them have great weapons, it appears. The Demon's Tongue Iron Demon ROR, and a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with Burning Head and Cascading Fire Cloak. Oh, there's 2 units behind me. What's going on over here? Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders and the Ogla Khan's Wolf Boys. Interesting. This Chaos Dwarf army feels like one of those that I frequently talk about, where it's like, I feel like they're missing 2,000 gold somewhere. And I know it's because Bull Centaur Renders and the Lord and the Demon's Tongue are crazy expensive. I know that, but like still, visually, I feel like something's missing. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot my Infernal Ironsworn over there in the corner. But I digress. Lizardmen have the better front line. They will win it. Even with 4 Chaos Dwarf Warriors, they're just not going to kill Saurus. They'll hold for a while, but they won't kill him. Lizardmen have the better front line. I honestly think they have better monstrous infantry. So the single entities of the Chaos Dwarfs are going to have to do a lot of work in the Demon's Tongue and the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. Both of these way outclass the Spawn as, like, combatants. So we'll see what they can do. Demon's Tongue currently firing away at some Saurus Warriors. A little bit of friendly fire, but it's okay. Who cares about Goblin Laborers? As it's a big old monster mash in the front line, Goblin Laborers are retreating pretty much across the board. But Chaos Dwarf Warriors have walked up to hold their place. A banishment goes through onto these Goblin Laborers. Ooey owie. But don't worry, there's Dowie. There's a big burning head from the side of the Chaos Dwarves to get rid of some of these Red Crested Skinks and Source Warriors, but Source Warriors are a little bit too meaty for that to do impactful damage. Rocket is currently behind on the damage value. We'll see how that goes overall. He does, of course, have healing magic. As the Iron Demon gets beset by Clostodon Hunters. It looks like they're going to get a Flesh to Stone. Yeah, there it is, giving them pretty insane physical resistance. Though, actually, none of this stuff has magic attacks. Okay, so they're protected from everything around here. Cascading Fire Cloak out onto the Bull Centaur Renders still does not give them magic damage, but wow, even with that Flesh to Stone physical resistance, they got murdered by this pylon. Chaos Dwarves are ahead on the balance of power, and I would agree. Their damage value is up, but are also just doing well in a lot of different places. Kroxigors are not having a good time versus these Bull Centaur Renders with great weapons. And honestly, kind of happy to see it. Bull Centaur Renders are very, very costly, so you would hope that they could at least beat Kroxigors or something that is like 600 gold cheaper than them. Yeah. Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, these two are going to try and maintain some mobility presence, so if something routes from the Lizardmen, maybe they can sweep it up. But there are a lot of Feral Cold Ones out and about, and it is also hard to cover 360 degrees of the map with 2 skirmish cabs. So we do see the Red Crescent Skinks that routed are coming back. Balance of power is bad for the Lizardmen, though. Not just salt about my last game, it's also very true with healing factions in general. The longer the game goes on, the better it is for them. So you do want to be careful. The Lizards just want to be patient. They're trying to heal up these Ripperdactyl Riders right now, giving them a Flesh to Stone while they're in chaff support, tearing apart these Bull Centaur Renders. That's a great trade for the Lizardmen, a good way to try and get back in this game a little bit. As Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, one of them is stuck in combat with Red Crescent Skinks, but the Iron Demon should make pretty quick work of that. Nice Burning Head, pokes down the Saurus a little bit more, but once again, those guys, they have a really big HP pool, and their models are quite spread out, so the Burning Head doesn't actually do as much as you might expect. This could be a problem for the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. He's not a great melee combatant, so being surrounded by Chaff and the anti-large Clawstone Hunters, he can take a lot more damage than you'd think very quickly. Feral Cold Ones for Rocket are doing a great job at chasing off and shattering all of the Chaos Dwarf things that route, and he's now starting to come back with them. They are armor-piercing little guys, so they can do well against the Iron Demon if they're given the chance. They can do well against the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, and he has lost 1,500 HP since we started paying attention to him. Cascading Fire Cloak, trying to give him a little bit more melee defense. I do worry these Ripperdactyls need to opt out. They're currently getting flamethrowered by the Demon's Tongue and poked at by Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. So they're going to want to back off, maybe reset, get some healing, get something like that. But no, they're staying in the fight and taking a lot of extra damage. They're losing models too, which is critical. You're a Lizardman. You're not undead. You can't get those models back without Rev Crystal, and even then, it's pretty difficult to get them. Bull Centaur Renders being chased off by Kroxigors. Other Bull Centaur Renders are very low. Bounce power is coming back for the Lizardmen a little bit since we last checked in on it, and the damage value is as well, 1,400 down. Red Crested Skinks fighting away against Chaos Dwarf Warriors, though honestly that fight does not matter. Feral Cold Ones get deleted by this Demon's Tongue. And the single entities of Chaos Dwarves, we pointed them out at the start of the game. They're really the only advantage the Chaos Dwarves had, and they are making the most out of them. They're still both very healthy and whatnot. Clawstone Hunters rejoin the fight just barely. Get a Flesh to Stone, that won't do them much good, and they get routed off immediately. The Flesh to Stone also starts healing the Sorcerer Prophet because of his little blood chalice thingy. The other Feral Cold Ones are isolated out by the Oblicon's Wolf Boys, or whatever the fuck that is. And the Demon's Tongue is back shooting at the Saurus. I still think the Lizardmen are in dire straits. They're giving it an admirable go, but I just don't know what's going to take out the Iron Demon and the Lord. Especially because the more you heal up your army, the more you're going to heal the Lord with that Blood Chalice. We do have some Sacred Kroxigors, but not enough to really stand and fight against the single entities. And the Lizardman bounce power is that bad while being inflated by a full health Life Salon, which is a supportive unit. It's not like he's actually going to do anything in melee. So I think the writing is on the wall. The Lizardmen will fall. But a consolation prize. Rocket is already in the faction war, so I'm sure he's not too bummed about losing to his clanmate here, because they are both ODM. How's things? Things are good. Things are good. We had 2 pretty good games. Skaven Tomb Kings and Skaven Lizardmen. 1 versus Tomb Kings, lost versus the Lizards. It is all over but the crying. Clawstone Hunters are back. 240 HP. Cold-blooded, keeping them in the fight for now. They dive on and actually get decent damage on the Source Prophet of Fire on their first shot, but then they immediately tear route. That causes a chain route, and now literally the only thing still in the fight is an almost dead Saurus and a full health Slaane's Mage Priest of Life. Yee. Big charge for the Iron Demon, goes straight through the Lizardmen, and then they rout. And we are down to just a life slon. I have a ping. Is it a replay? It is a replay. Oh, joy. Oh, joy. So we have our next game ready to go after this. Salons could get their HP cut in half and no one could play him. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. I think my main thing with the Salons is I wish their models were like the Incarnate Elemental Beasts or the Mutilate Vortex Beast, where if they get surrounded by spears or get surrounded by cav, they actually take a significant amount of damage. Because Salons can take damage. It's not like they're super broken and bugged and impossible to hit, but they're definitely like more slippery than they should be for having 32 melee defense. There's a lot of times where things just T-pose on them. Army losses is going to kick in just a second here, as the last of the lizards are swept up. And that's that. Congratulations, Rocket, on getting into the faction war, and congratulations to JMG for going to the semifinals of our little qualifier. Good luck to the Chaos Dwarfs. GG. Those Bull Centaurs did good work. Toads are pretty slippery. It's true, but they shouldn't cost that little and be that cost-effective while also being tanky, while also dealing a ton of damage to their bound abilities. It's too much. It's too much. Iron Demon and the Sorcerer Prophet Lord both did fantastically. Bull Centaur Renders did fine. They did good. Like, no complaints there at all, but the single entities, he made really good use of them, and he did win the game off of them. Then the infantry was pretty whatever. So GG. And we actually get to find out who JMG and the Chaos Dwarves will be fighting right now. Quarterfinal number 2, Anti-Kaiju versus Dr. Nerd. Dr. Antoyevich, as he is known here. Empire Grand Cathay. One of the not numerous matchups that Cathay is even in, because the Empire can kind of trade blow for blow in the shooting contest with Cathay. I'd say it's probably still Cathay favored, like 55-45, but in the current state of Grand Cathay, that's about as playable as it's going to fucking get. So honestly, the Empire got quote-unquote lucky to draw into Cathay, because I mean, like, there's matchups, like Cathay Slanesh, that's literally 90-10. Alright. For the Empire versus Cathay, we have the Sunmaker versus 2 Fire Rain Rockets, and that fight has already started. We do have 3 Empire Knights, some great swords, a frontline of Spearmen and Swordsman, Karl Franz, Sterling's Revenge, and a Jade Wizard with Just Regrowth. On the other side, we have Dragonblood Ashugi Lord of Yin with Ancestral Warriors, Storm of Shadows, and Cloak of Jet. The Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, 1 Onyx Crowman, interesting to not see 2, 2 Fire Rain Rockets, 2 Peasant Horsemen, and then Peasant Long Spears and Jade Warriors, 3 Iron Hail Gunners who are all currently shooting at Franz, and Franz is going to back off after taking a third of his HP and just take the L in that one. The Ancestral Warrior Summon is thrown directly on top of the Sunmaker, immediately kills it off and shatters it with help from the Fire Rain Rockets. It was not a one-man job. But that is something that Cathay can do quite often, is just chuck the Ancestral Warriors down onto these guys. Because if they get hit, they get frostbitten, so no artillery crew can actually outrun these guys. The Fire and Rockets do have to refocus. It looks like they are now. Swordsmen get deleted off screen while I was watching the Ancestral Warriors run around. The Fire and Rockets are now massacring a bunch of Empire infantry. Jade Warriors get frontal charged by Empire Knights, but it appears to be a disaster. Iron Hail Gunners are going to kill off Franz before he can even land, and that's a quick FF from the Empire. I 100% agree. Okay. Why do you get the best artillery in the game while also having the best front line in the game? While also having some of the best mobility in the game in fucking Crowman. GG. I don't disagree with that surrender at all. It was feeling pretty over at that point. As far as the bracket goes, There's no spoilers yet, so real quickly, we have JMG versus Kaiju. There, I can put it like that, so no spoilers will come up. I just asked Kaiju if we can spectate that one live, since the replay was so quick, they might not have started yet. They have not started, so we are going to catch that one live. Let me get my blocker back up. And let's go find it, huh? Is it NC stands for nice cock? I knew it! I knew this was your lobby. Alright, open a spectator slot. I knew that was his lobby. Fucking Kaiju. Alright, we're waiting for JMG. Dun, 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 dun. Does Cathay need nerfs, or do other factions need buffs? Oh, Cathay definitely needs nerfs. Definitely. I feel like Tomb Kings are the dead center of the balanced universe. And I don't mean like there's, 11 and a half factions on one side and 11 and a half other factions, and Tomb Kings are just middle of the road. I think Tomb Kings are where most factions should aim to end up. Right? Tomb Kings have some defined strengths in their army passive is very good. Their weapons teams constructs, right? But the Ushapti Great Bows and Sportal Stalkers are great. They have multiple viable lords in Katep and Arkin. Cetra's a little overpriced, but he could get bumped down a little bit and be fine. But like Arkin's a great lord. Katep's actually really, really good. I've been using him a lot recently. And then where you struggle is your cavalry's bad and your single entities are bad. Now, are there things in the Tomb Kings roster that could be buffed? Sure. Are there things in the Tomb Kings roster that could be nerfed? Sure. But I mean, like, as a whole, if you put them on a scale, I think they are in the perfect balance spot, strength and weaknesses wise. Where you can play against Tomb Kings' weaknesses and feel good, you can lose their strengths and feel good. And I think on the other ends of the spectrum, you have, like, Demons of Chaos, which feel bad to play because you feel like you're fighting uphill all the time, and Demonic Instability takes out your whole faction. You're just like, well, this is great. And on the other hand, you have things like Cathay and Bretonnia, where it's like, you feel bad for playing them and winning. But, like, Tomb Kings is nice. And another metric I use for that is, I never, literally never, when someone picks Tomb Kings, go, fuck. Great, I have to fight Tomb Kings again. It's like, alright, I'll fight Tomb Kings. And then when I feel like playing a faction, Tomb Kings is always kind of at the top of my mind of like, I could pick some Tomb Kings, that sounds fun. So I don't know, I think they're a good faction. Not a lot of people hate Tomb Kings. Other artillery needs buffs, yeah. As a rush enjoyer, I despise Tomb King's boxes. I find them satisfying to break because Tomb King's infantry is so low tier that you can usually just melee through them. But to each their own, I guess. Where is JMG? Hello? JMG? Somebody get this man. Why would you want Cathay to have Iron Hail Gunner Skirmish Cav? Why would you want to have more buffs for Grand Cathay? I'll admit that Iron Hail Gunner Cav would be more interactive than some of what Grand Cathay has, but right now... right now, Grand Cathay definitely need to be on the nerf train, not the let's get them some more shit train. But no, Iron Hail Gunner Cav wouldn't actually be that oppressive. Because it's like Outriders. You deal with them with archers or a skirmish cav of your own. It's not that bad. It obviously depends on their DPS, right? Because Outriders need a buff. But if the Iron Hail Gunners, then that's fucked. But if they have a damage profile closer to other things in that bracket, like Outriders with a slight buff, or I'm trying to think, there's not a lot of other AP skirmish cav in general, and not a lot that's doing well right now. Just remember, Cathay will get at least 2 more DLCs. They could use some stuff to make them more interactive. Like Hanadins is saying, agree or disagree about the exact concept he proposed. Like, Cathay have no skirmish cav. That's something they could add that wouldn't be, like, toxic, because it doesn't help your box playstyle at all. Their monsters are pretty bad. The Terracotta Sentinel and the Lions are both not very good. And you could just buff the ones you have, but I wouldn't hate for, like, 1 or 2 more monsters to be added to Cathay. Maybe get on some monstrous infantry, so that rush is more viable. So, they have room for more monsters or monstrous infantry. They have room for skirmish cav. They have no aggressive infantry, so they could get, like... I know this is Nippon, but if you just want to, like, make good content and not focus on the lore too much, you could get, like, ninjas. Right? Ninjas. You can call them whatever you want, but just lightly armored, stalking... Just, it's fucking Chameleon Stalkers. It's Chameleon Stalkers from the Lizardmen roster, but throw black robes on them. That's all it is. They run up, they have an armor-piercing, single-target, non-explosive missile, because the Stalkers have an explosive one, but this is just a shuriken to the face. So give them, like, 3 ammunition of an armor-piercing, single-shot type thing. Maybe have the Aspiring Champions level of model count, but then give them pretty good stats. Besides armor, they'd have low armor. That could be cool. And then some just aggressive infantry, like Peasant Rabble. Instead of Peasant Long Spears, maybe make it a 300 gold unit where they have like pitchforks and shovels and shit, but higher melee attack, low armor, low melee defense. They could also use, yeah, Loopy's kind of... I don't know exactly what Loopy's talking about, but Fire Lancers to me sounds like a heavy cav that's not a Longma rider, like a grounded heavy cav. They could also use that. So there's things, but obviously, if you give them anything, you need to nerf some of the shit they already have, because they're redonkulous right now. We have AP Skirmish. It's called War Wagons. Having 360 Chariot Skirmish with insanely high ammunition is not a good metric. But, like, Outriders are AP Skirmish, and they suck. Okay, well, they don't suck. That's too harsh. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 being balanced perfectly, Outriders are like a 3. They're not unusable, but they're not where they should be. Unique wall climbing animation like Shogun 2. Is it a mod or is it real? Can spiders in this game, Spider Riders, can Spider Riders run up and over walls, or is that a mod? I'm trying to remember. It shows you how much campaign I play. Or skirmish heavy cav with low AP fire rockets. Interesting. I'll be curious what the next couple DLCs bring. And I mean, the Shadows of Change update is coming out, and I've heard a lot of leaks about it, not from CA. I keep hearing about it from people on my Discord, so... CA can't even get mad at me, because they didn't tell me this information for me to leak it. But, like, I've heard that there's going to be 3 legendary heroes, each faction's getting a generic lord besides... I heard Tzeentch isn't getting a generic lord, which is weird, but whatever. And so far, that sounds cool. I do hope there's some more regular-ass units, because the game already has plenty of heroes and lords and single entities. What it needs is more cool multi-entity models. Which, like, honestly, Kislev got. The Kislev DLC was good at that. The things in the woods are lit. They're really good for the roster. They're good for the game in general. They're just, like, good, strong units. They might need nerfs, but they're not, like... It's not a toxic thing. They're just reskinned skin wolves. Like, oh no, skin wolves. But, yeah, things in the woods were great. Auction amateurs are cool now that they're toned down. Things like that. The Tzeentch DLC was what was garbage. Fucking the Mutalith Vortex Beast, Changeling, and Aecold. Oh, wow, 3 more single entities. Ooh, I'm so excited. Then they got some Zongors, which is whatever. I mean, it's a good unit, but too many single entities. Do we know what time it'll come out? The leaks I've heard, again, from unofficial sources, I heard February. I don't know. Because CA, this one's public. CA disintegrated the content creator program. So when they get back from Christmas break, they're going to have to re-kit that into whatever they want it to look like. And then get that DLC out. So they're going to be busy. So it's probably going to be February. Anyway, we have a game. Anti-Kaiju and Cathay. Nice little box here. 4 Jade Warriors, 4 Peasant Long Spears. We have a Grand Cannon, 2 Crane Gunners, 3 Iron Hail Gunners. Miao Ying the Storm Dragon on foot with Earthblood and Storm of Shadows. We have 2 Peasant Horsemen and the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. Great Longbow Rider ROR. No Onyx Chroma. When you streaming the Raid Boss event? I'm thinking tomorrow morning. I just got the replays tonight. I got the replays literally like an hour ago. On the other side for the Chaos Dwarves of JMG, we have 3 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders for a little bit of skirmish cav presence. A lot of laborers, orc and goblin mixed, to try and just saturate the front line. And then we have as many blasting charges as you could get. Looks like 3 Infernal Ironsworn and the Blazing Beards of Basrock. So trying to get those not armor piercing anymore, but still really high weapon strength blasting charges to take care of the front line for him. A nice burning head down the line, though it curves away from the other Iron Hail Gunners. And it is now going to go into the Crane Gunners. It can do decent damage depending on when it's going to run out of gas. Yeah, it lasted the whole thing. It got really good damage down that whole formation. Nice. Long Marauders and Peasant Horsemen charging out to deal with some of the Goblin Laborers, and I'm sure the Chaos Dwarves just gave that a little bit of a thumbs up. Now these Peasant Horsemen are going to fight 3 Skirmish Cav at once, but the blasting charges are in. They're getting really, really good damage down, despite the fact that they're not armor piercing, and these Jade Warriors have 90 armor. It's just not enough to stop all of those deadly, deadly blasting charges, and this is a really cool tech piece to get into the box. Now these laborers who never stood a chance of breaking Jade Warriors can walk straight past and just start harassing these guys and forcing the Peasant Long Spears to come up and do something about it. Meanwhile, the 3 Skirmish Cav taking a lot of damage from Crane Gunners and the Grand Cannon. But if they can swoop in this backline, if the Peasant Long Spears have to move up and stop super bad, awful chaff, it feels terrible, and then the Skirmish Cav is freed up to kill off all of these ranged units, so this is going really well for the Chaos Dwarves. They're down to the bounce power a little bit, but that's going to happen with how much damage you're taking on the advance, but this is where things are going to turn around. More Jade Warriors are routing. Nice little breath attack from the Chaos Dwarf Lord here. And this is fantastic play from JMG. Kaiju's not playing bad by any means, but there's less pressure on Cathay to play, great. Whereas if the Chaos Dwarfs fuck up, they're dead. They lose the whole game. Whereas Cathay has a little bit more fuck up they can do playing in a box formation. Because Kaiju hasn't done anything, wrong. With a box, you have less agency, though, which is why generally when I cast box games, I talk more about the person attacking the box. Because the box is he's keeping his shit together and he's shooting when he needs to shoot. He's doing well. The Long Marauders and the Peasant Long Spears have gotten out and routed a bunch of goblins, tried to protect the backline. The Iron Hail Gunners are trying to fire up at this guy. But why are they shooting so low? Okay, now they're shooting up, but that one was shooting really low. That was weird. They are lighting him up, though, and this is the first mistake JMG made, is he's sitting for a long time in front of these Iron Hails. He's got to get down. What are you doing, man? Get down, Mr. President! Already lands, but now he's got the Long Marauders on his ass, and this could be a huge moment for Kaiju, as the bounce power is swung against Cathay, and I definitely agree. Like we said, those Peasant Long Spears had to get pulled up, and that means the box was broken, and all of the ranged units are now at the mercy of these Infernal Ironsworn and Orc Laborers. Hell, an Iron Hail Gunner's even routing at full HP, which for Cathay is a strange concept. For Kaiju, we're going to see if Miao Ying and the Righteous Lances can carry this. Miao Ying probably wants to throw some Earthbloods on those Righteous Lances if they can get more health. They can maybe chase down the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. Though he runs into the Chaos Dwarf Pickle here. Yeah, he ends up healing anyway, because, I mean, you might as well. But if you cast spells, you're just going to heal the enemy Lord. Storm of Shadows tries to slow him down, but the Long Marauders completely whiff the charge. And they're now back onto him, but they're kind of derping it up. I don't know where they're going or what they're doing, but they seem to constantly be dropping attack orders from the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire and just fucking around instead, as Hobgoblin Wolf Riders shoot at them from the base. I mean, if they're just going to shit the bed entirely, then this game is over. Miao Ying didn't bring Storm of Shadows or anything, so she can't kill off the Ironsworn with a couple well-placed spells, and aside from that, Cathay is out of damage. They just have some random-ass chaff that's actually getting bombed in the back as we speak. These Wolf Riders aren't going to allow the Iron Hail Gunners to come back. These Crane Gunners will actually probably be shut down in a second. As soon as this guy realizes that they're still alive, he'll run over there and deal with them. And that is GG. Yeah. Righteous Lances routing off. Everything's routing off, and Army Losses is honestly pretty close as Miao Ying gets up into the sky to become a dragon for just a brief moment. This does mean if she ever lands, she'll take a lot more damage from getting surrounded by infantry, because her model is way bigger, so she gets hit by more of them at the same time. But I think Kaiju's just going for the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire to be spiteful. Not in like a bad way, like you know, listen, if I'm losing this game, I'm taking your fucking lord with me, as she's trying to chase him down. That kind of spiteful, not like, fuck this game, spiteful. That's my kind of spiteful. Seeing Grand Cathay lose warms my hater heart. But I haven't lost just yet, because here's another whoopsie from JMG. He did allow the Iron Hail Gunners to rally, and they're now trying to get back and fire at the Sorcerer Prophet. They could do good damage on the charge, but it takes them too long to get their shit together, and a Burning Head is going to take them out. So the Burning Head, hitting them is nice, them taking way too long to reform lines and deal with them. And the Burning Head curves so hard into the routing Iron Hails. My God. It was like, nah, fuck this unit. And just 90-degree curves on him. Oh. No, they lost? True. I was just saying if the Iron Hails got, like, a brutal volley and killed the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. I guess you're right, though. Even then, there's still 2 full health Infernal, 3 full health Infernal Iron Sword that Miao Ying just can't deal with. Oh, Rocket's trolling me. Oh, Rocket's trolling me. One more game, Spellbound? No, we got more. We got more. The finals has yet to be played, but I should theoretically have replays to cast from the quarterfinals, though they were not sent to me, so now I'm feeling a bit silly. There is a finalist waiting for whoever won this, and whoever won this is JMG. We'll cast the final for sure, though I am asking my other quarterfinal. I'm missing a quarterfinal, I'm missing a semifinal replay that should have been sent to me, so I'm messaging those players. Sneakily. Really well played here by JMG. Kaiju played solid. I really don't want this to sound like just the JMG hype fest. Like, Kaiju played pretty darn well. I didn't really see that many mistakes, or any, honestly. His targeting was pretty good. His formation was solid. He sallied forth and got some free hits on God Laborers and stuff. But the build from JMG was really creative, very well thought out, and very well executed. So, yeah. A well-deserved win, but Kaiju has qualified for the faction war, and I'm sure he will bring some Grand Cathay terror there. Because I think Kaiju, correct me if I'm wrong, he used to be in the chat. Grand Cathay is his favorite faction, even if it wasn't OP. So he gets a bad rap sometimes because he plays them, but it's like, I mean, I would play Skaven even if they were broken. Alright, I got the replays. That one? Yes. And then that one? No. That one. Sorry. One of my quarterfinals sent me a whole bunch of replays, and I only had to find the ones I wanted. So we know one of our finalists is JMG, and JMG is going to currently fight the other finalist, but it's time to cast some games. I will actually put a blocker up because I don't want you to see spoilers just yet. We will cast the other quarterfinals. So first up, Umai's on more Chaos Dwarves versus Hanadins on the Empire. My match was bad, not too thrilled to have it cast. Dude, it's alright. Dr. Nerd had like a 1-minute game where Cathay just rolled him. And there's a little bit of a spoil. Well, not, I won't spoil it, but I'll talk about this replay afterwards. Alright. For the Chaos Dwarves and Umais, we have Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, and Ogleclon's Wolf Boys. More Hobgoblin Wolf Riders. We do have Gorda's Backstabber, Goblin Laborers, Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, Astrogoth Iron Hand with Ash Storm, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Cascading Firecloak. They have 2 great Tauruses. I want to like these things. I've tried them in a few matchups, and like some days I'm like, man, these things are all right. And then other days I'm like, these are trash. On the other side for Hanadins and the Empire, we have Pendulum and Pit of Shades, deal with some of those elite infantry. We have the Hammer of the Witches and the Sunmaker, 2 Outriders, more Empire Knights, and a front line of state troops. The Sunmaker is currently deleting some Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Oh my god. But, our Hobgoblin Wolf Rider friends have gotten in range to start counterfiring that Sunmaker, and Outriders are trying to push them back. Empire Knights are too. And I'm wondering what the Empire Knights are so scared of to just go out there and actually push these guys away. Gorda's is handy? Yeah. This is a Chad Chaos Dwarf build. And another thing to remember is top 8 qualify for the faction war. So at this point, I don't know the players can answer you, but maybe Umayus took double Great Taurus and the fucking Gordo's Backstabber just to be a Chad, and he was like, dude, I don't care, I already made it into the faction war and I want to go to bed today. Like, I don't know. But it's a pretty Chad build. The advance has gone okay. Sunmaker's down to half HP, though it is getting out its ammunition. The Great Tauruses might have to land on it and stop it from using the rest of that ammo. Chaos Dwarves slowly advancing, trying to get here, and some Hobgoblin Sneaky Gets are pushed off the back. Did I mention that Boris is here? I felt like I did, but maybe I forgot. Oh, that's big damage. Great Taurus lands in some Outriders, and then with peppering from these from the Hobgoblin Wolf Riders with bows, it actually gets it to tear out. If it turns into a natural route, man, the white line is right there. Hey, there's Gordas. I lost track of him. I was worried he died off screen with a Hammer of the Witches, but I wasn't going to say anything. Hammer of the Witches getting some really good shots in on these Hobgoblin Wolf Riders who are also getting hit with Empire Knights. Those guys will start routing soon. Astrogoth is trying to chase off some Outriders while the Great Tauruses still do good damage. And the Sunmaker routing, while still having ammo up, is a pretty big win for the Chaos Dwarves, because at this point it doesn't matter for the Sunmaker. Like, if it ever gets rallied and comes back online, there's infantry in its face, so it's if it gets back online, it can't shoot anyway, so the Great Taurus did some good disruption. And this is risky. Boris taking a fight with Gordas and Astrogoth nearby could turn against him. Now, if he routes off Gordas, the edge of the map's right there. And a Pit of Shades is actually going to hit some Swordsmen and Chaos Dwarves in the distance. But Astrogoth abandons Gordas to his fate and goes elsewhere with his time. Chaos Dwarf still trying to push through the frontline. Empire is a little bit ahead on the balance of power. Hammer of Witches is still up and firing over at Skirmish Cav. Ooh, and this Great Taurus is surrounded by Empire Knights, and with only 28 melee defense and 50 armor, Empire Knights can do decent damage against him even when they're not charging. Not like amazing damage, but decent. Astrogoth's trying to fight it out. Chaos Dwarf Warriors are grinding away with Empire Knights, and Gordas is still fighting against Boris. It looks to be going in Boris's favor, as one more hit will probably send Gordas routing off the map. Outriders are online. Both of them still have a lot of models left, and they're firing in. Looks like they're shooting at the Great Tauruses for now. Astrogoth's getting surrounded by random shit, but he's not actually getting shot at because he's too low on the ground. He is an infantry-sized model. So Outriders are shooting at the nice, big, flying cows that they can actually see. Pendulum goes across the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, doing a good chunk of their health if that was undercast. If it was overcast, then it's not worth the Winds of Magic. But if it's undercast, then that's fine. Things are looking good for the Empire. The Chaos Dwarves are just relying on seeing if their Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons or without can grind through the Empire's front line, and if their single entities can deal with a lot of Empire Knights. And so far, the single entities are doing okay. I mean, Gordo's got mostly wrecked. This Great Taurus, he did some stuff before he died. Yeah, he got okay value. Not amazing, but okay. And Astrogoth's still chilling. They don't have a lot to deal with these Outriders, unfortunately, because Hanadins has effectively shut down all of their Skirmish Cav with his Hammer of the Witches and his Empire Knights, which leaves the Outriders free and clear to do what they want. But Outriders, I did mention before they need buffs. They only have 14 ammunition left over here, 13 left over there. It's not like they can kill that many Chaos Dwarf Warriors with their volleys. So, it's not like, oh, he has an Outrider left in the late game, he just wins. Like, maybe an Outrider with Grenade Launcher could clear out more, but they'll be okay. And he still has other stuff going on. He has a lot of Empire Knights that are still cycle charging. He has State Troops, and while they're bloodied, I mean, they're still around. Hammer of the Witches barely staying online, still firing away at those Skirmish Cav. Now it looks like he's trying to get a sideways shot down Chaos Dwarf Warriors, which actually can do pretty good damage if he gets a shot off here. I kind of want to see it go like through the line. But now Empire Knights are on the way. Damn, could have been satisfying. And that is that. So yeah, Pigman, if it makes you feel any better, we already cast a game that was like all of 1 minute long, and then Umai sent this to me and was like, dude, I've never played this matchup in my entire life. I'm winging it, and I was like, all right, seems fine. I do want to cast them unless people actually just 100% do not want me to cast them. Where are we at? Because, like, you know, all the people I'm casting at this point have qualified for the faction war. So it'd be nice for the audience to at least know who you are. But on the other hand, I mean, like, if someone just absolutely fucked up, like, made a horrible misplay and feels embarrassed about it, then I can also just not if it makes them feel better. Okay. I was just making sure that the player that asked me not to cast it in chat, I don't know, I didn't know if he was joking or not. So, if it actually would have upset them, I wouldn't cast their game, but we're in it. This is the final quarterfinal. Again, both these players are in the faction war. We have Phoenix King, returning champion of 2 faction wars ago, quarterfinalist of the last one. And Pigman 202, a rising star in our scene. And that is true. I mean, like, for the amount of time Pigman's been playing, he's gotten a lot better, a lot quicker than a lot of people that have been playing for as long as he has. And he's, like, constantly in our Discord voice chat playing games, so good on him. Playing Demons of Chaos, I don't see him playing that a lot. I do see him playing a lot of Lizardmen, Warriors of Chaos, things like that. Anyway, for Phoenix King, we do have a bunch of Deepwood Scouts. Surprisingly, none of them took their magic damage arrows, which you think they would. Wild Hunters of Kurnos, the Enigmas of Gairan Zotes, and then some Eternal Guard. We do have more Wild Riders, a Life Spellsinger, and the Sisters of Twilight. On the other side, for Pigman, we have a Herald of Slaanesh, Blood Crushers of Khorne that are having a great time today, Fleshhounds of Khorne that are also dying, then a bunch of Blue Horrors, some Screamers. We do have a Soulgrinder Tzeentch trying to do a bit of sniping, then Pink Horrors, and Heralds of Khorne's Furies, more Blood Crushers. But already, we have lost a Blood Crusher and a Fleshhound on the side of the Demons of Chaos. Which is part of the reason I'm surprised none of these Deepwood Scouts brought their magic ammunition. Alright, Blue Horrors firing away at Eternal Guard and such. The Enigmas of Gairan are in it to win it. They have a bit of missile resist, 25%, I suppose. Try and keep them safe from those horrors. As the Sisters of Twilight and the Spellsinger of Life are actually taking a lot of damage from the Soul Grinder and the Herald of Slaanesh. And I wonder if a Rampage could have been cast at any point there. Heralds of Khorne's Fury do get in a fight with some Wild Riders, though it looks like they are the target of all the Deepwood Scouts, getting shot in the back with sundered armor from something. Sisters of Twilight sundering their armor, making it easier for the Deepwood Scouts to get some good shots in. Chaos Fury summoned from the Herald of Slaanesh is harassing one of the Deepwood Scouts. The Wild Riders took some decent damage from the Screaming Skyray's special ability. Wood Elves feel like they're relatively in control right now, but the Wild Hunters of Kurnos are close to routing. And then after that, the Wood Elves' front line has taken some decent damage. Their back line, 4 of their Deepwood Scouts are fine. One's taken a lot of damage. And their Lord and Hero are not feeling good. The Spellsinger of Life is throwing another... Well, I don't think she's had one regrowth yet. Maybe some Earthbloods, but she is regrowthing herself to try and save herself from that Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. The Enigmas of Gairan have dove deep into the backline, or just crushing a bunch of horrors. Sour Guts are wandering into them to try and get some of those explosion damages off, while the other Pink Horrors fire away. But with the Deepwood Scouts closing in, these horrors are about to have an increasingly bad time. And this is a spooky situation. Rampage is down on the Spellsinger of Life, who's currently in the middle of the Screamers, the Herald of Slaanesh, and the Soul Grinder, in what turns out to be a dreadful mistake. She immediately starts to run away, but the Herald of Slaanesh is on her ass, and so is the Soul Grinder, as a Narcissism is cast on the Sisters of Twilight, locking them in place for the Screamers, but the Sisters got a heal of some kind. Wait, how did they get that big heal? She cast a regrowth on herself. What the fuck? Unless she canceled it. Anyway, Wild Riders charge down to try and kill off the Shrieking Skyrays, and the Enigmas of Gairan come over to help out as well. Their rear charge will finish off those Shriekers. The Lifecaster gets away, but a last Soul Grinder of Tzeentch shot snipes her out of the sky, so there's no more healing or spells in general. Oh, the Enigmas have a bound regrowth. That must have been cast on one of the 2 heroes. Oh. Alright, that's good. Soul Grinder gets away. He has 6 shots left. The Herald of Slaanesh is not feeling so good, however, surrounded by the Enigmas. She does have another Fury summon, though Furies are not the best at peeling for you. They're more better at disrupting the enemy. We'll see what they can even do here as the Sisters dive down to help the Lord Snipe attempt. They're getting a lot of damage on the Herald of Slaanesh. Her leadership is dipping so far. She might Demonic Instability crumble soon. Chromatic Abominations and the Sour Guts still trying to fire away on these Eternal Guard and such, but there's a lot of Deepwood Scouts left. Wood Elves are up on the Balance of Power. A Pavane is getting cast that rampages the Wild Riders, and that does allow the Herald of Slaanesh to get away to safety while the Sisters still continue to shoot at her. Soul Grinder's trying to kite around, but the Enigmas are after him. You cast the Boundary Growth. Yeah, I forgot the Enigmas even had spells, to be honest. And the Blue Horrors do beat up the Eternal Guard, then the other Eternal Guards start fading away, so we have 3 Horrors left with ammunition still. The Herald is still technically alive. The Soul Grinder has a decent amount of ammunition to throw at the Sisters of Twilight. And is very much Wood Elf favored, but the Demons have put up a pretty good scrap here. I haven't noticed any horrendous mistakes, mostly just like taking the Blood Crushers I would vote as a mistake because I think that unit's bad, but I mean, that's just my bias on the thing. Sisters continue to get that constant damage on the Herald of Slaanesh, and the longer the Soul Grinder is not allowed to fire, the worse this gets, as the Enigmas of Ghyron are beset by these Furies that are going to fade away now-ish. There they go. Horrors are trying to stop them. Soul Grinder turns and just needs to get a shot off on the Sisters to dissuade them from continuing to shoot at the Herald of Slaanesh, but she does start Demonic Instability crumbling. And then without her, the Sour Guts will probably lose enough leadership while getting shot by Deepwood Scouts in the back that they'll probably fade away, and that'll be GG. Acquiescence was cast before the end on the Enigmas. They take big damage from the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. They're split 16 out of 16 models. They don't really give a shit, do they? But there go the Sour Guts. There's still 5 Deepwood Scouts. All of them have ammunition left. Sisters of Twilight actually ain't looking so hot, but I think the Deepwood Scouts should be able to carry it. As more volleys continue to hit the Enigmas, it's just too much damage on the Soul Grinder. Everything's taking too much damage. Balance of Power is close to army losses. Terror out onto the Enigmas of Ghyron as the Soul Grinder turns and wails on the Sisters of Twilight with that volley. He did good. He did good. Good job, little fella. 2,000 value on him. But the demons are out. One last volley onto the Sisters of Twilight. Big damage. And that's GG. The finalists are just getting started now. You don't know how you win as Demons of Chaos versus Wood Elves? Dude, it's rough. It's really rough. Demons of Chaos are one of those factions that have certain unwinnable matchups. But, Pigman, you did qualify for the faction war. Silver lining. And that was a close game. That was close. Wood Elves had it. It wasn't like a super nail-biter, but it wasn't a stomp either. Not by any metric. All right. Will our finalist be the Phoenix King on Wood Elves to fight the Chaos Dwarves, or Hanadins on the Empire to fight JMG's Chaos Dwarves? Whoever is fighting JMG right now, they have just started their game. So we'll cast that replay when we get to it. Hanadins versus Phoenix King. And we already have a little bit of a surprise. The Huntsman General. I've really only seen John FB take this Lord. Yes! So for the Empire, we do have a Huntsman General, butt naked. He brought none of his abilities. A Bright Wizard with Burning Head and Fireball, some State Troops with Spearmen and Swordsmen, a couple Huntsmen mixed in here, 4 of them. Empire Knights, of course, for the nice heavy cav presence of the Empire. And then we do have 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun, a unit that does not get a lot of play these days, but used to be a favorite for the Empire. Very high charge bonus, fire attacks on their melee attack, and better stats than Empire Knights almost overall. They're a solid unit. They've just been a little outclassed by the times, but they still do fine. They're just not like a must pick like they used to be. On the other side, for the Phoenix King, we have 3 Deepwood Scouts, Sisters of Twilight, a Waystalker, a Spellsinger of Life with Dwellers Below and Earthblood, 4 Eternal Guard, and then a bunch of cavalry of Wild Riders and Glade Riders mixed in. This is a fun Empire? Yeah, dude. This is OG Empire. Though, I don't know. There's a lot of people that seem to hate Empire. I never joined that thing. I've always liked Empire. I mean, Triple War Wagon with healing is never that exciting, but there are like 5 factions I would still rather watch War Wagon Kite than watch them, so I don't know. I've never been an Empire hater, but this is definitely one of like the POG OG builds. Huntsmen are out dueling the Deepwood Scouts. Now the Wood Elf front line is getting involved. Spearman with shields fighting Eternal Guard. Eternal Guard will do better there. And there's a big Dweller's Blow from the Phoenix King onto Empire Knights and Swordsmen. It's not a spell you're used to looking for anymore because it's been nerfed. But the Empire Knights are falling back. They took half their HP in that trade, though. It's a pretty good start for the Wood Elves. On the back line, Knights of the Blazing Sun are about to roll through some Deepwood Scouts, taking a third of the HP off that unit. As Wild Riders and Glade Riders with Spears try and collapse on them, Deepwood Scouts are firing at them at point-blank range, but that 100 armor is going to be problematic. Wild Riders don't have armor piercing. None of the units nearby do. So the Knights of Blazing Sun will hold on longer than you'd think. The Empire Heavy Cav is still rolling through here. More Knights of the Blazing Sun have come onto the back line, and the Empire Huntsmen are doing a lot of damage to Wild Riders as a nasty Burning Head is going to take out an Eternal Guard, maybe 2, depending on the curve. Oh, and the curve is good! Oh, and the curve is good! But too good! It's too good! Stop it! Oh, wow, the curve keeps going. It avoids the Empire Spearmen. That was the most manually piloted Burning Head I have ever seen. As the Wood Elf front line gets fucked up, their back line gets fucked up, and they are in dire straits for sure. Their front line is fading. The Huntsmen are all completely fine to fire away. And the Sisters of Twilight are down to less than half HP as they try and chase down some Empire Knights who are routing off their Glade Riders. We still have a Waystalker trying to snipe out something. Wow, that was a good Arrows of Kurnos, the Knights of Blazing Sun, but the Huntsmen slow push with a bunch of shielded chaff infantry. I suppose these spearmen aren't shielded, so whoops, but the swordsmen are. Anyway, Huntsmen push with a bunch of chaff, and then Heavy Cav is proving quite effective versus the Wood Elves, as it has historically in this matchup. Back when Waywatchers were, like, much better, and Wild Riders, I guess, used to be a little bit better in Warhammer 2. This was a little more playable from the Wood Elves, but it's always felt Empire favored. I'm trying to think back. Because Triple Waywatcher could do good. I do remember that. Triple Waywatcher with some Wild Riders could do good as you tried to just punch through the Empire Cav. But those days are long gone. Waywatchers don't do nearly as much damage as they used to, so the Empire Cav just being shielded is fine versus Waywatchers. At this point, it's looking really brutal. A Waystalker surrounded by Knights of the Blazing Sun, taking some serious damage. Glade Riders are going to get a rear charge, and I think they'll get a collective shrug from the Knights of the Blazing Sun as they just turn around and wreck them on the charge. Wood Elves have formed a last little pocket of resistance. It's not going to mean much. There's 4 Huntsmen here with a ton of ammunition and plenty of models to use them. Huntsman General's just fine. There's a lot of Empire Heavy Cav left. Knights of the Blazing Sun might rout after routing off the Glade Riders. Grand Cathay just didn't get eliminated earlier. Oh yeah, dude. After round 1, it's the complete Wild West on what sort of matchup you're going to get. At this point, I'm going to ×2 speed real quick, as we do have some Empire Knights in the background, just running down Deepwood Scouts and doing that kind of thing. Wood Elves are kiting around as best they can. They're getting a bit of damage out. Bounce power continues to shrink against them, though. The Sisters of Twilight go for one last-ditch effort, but they get massacred, and that'll be army losses. Good job to Phoenix King for making it to the semifinals with the Wood Elves. He has qualified for the faction war, but it will be Hanniden's on his Empire advancing to fight the Chaos Dwarves. And that match is going on right now. I'll cast the replay. The players asked if I wanted to cast it live, but I wanted to cast the semifinals, and I didn't want to make them wait up, because I believe... I know Hanniden's is over in the EU, so it's really late at night for him, so I want him to just get it over with and go to bed. I don't know where JMG is from. I believe he speaks Spanish, but I don't know if he's in Spain or in Latin America. So, yeah. Other news. tomorrow morning at some point. I'm trying to figure out when, because Lucinia was the host of this thing, and he has a birthday. And I don't want to cast his event during his birthday party, because that would be rude. But I believe tomorrow morning we'll be casting the Raid Boss event. If you don't know what that is, it was an event where a more veteran player gets a large army, and then 3 newer players get 1/3 of the funds. So the total funds of the armies are the same, but it is a 3v1, so it should be 3 times the micro on one side. So we'll cast that tomorrow morning, I believe. Oh god. Gotrek, Felix, and Thoric. Oof. See if those other guys can do it. That is a lot of Daka. Hey, it's Pigman. Pigman playing some Tomb Kings. Holy shit, look at how small that Lizardmen army is. It's a Slot of Life, a single Croxagore, and 3 Saurus Warriors, and that's it. Yeah. It is like a best of 7 format. So like me, Sipa, Berserk, Green One, Stormrunner, Strat Game, and Pigman are like a team. And then I'm not going to list all of them because there's 3 person per. But like, yeah. So let's say the new players win games 1 through 4, and then the raid bosses win 5, 6, and 7. The score would be 3-4, and the new players would win. What time tomorrow morning? Whatever time it is for you right now, I'm thinking it will be in 11.5 hours. So 9 a.m. my time. But like, translate that for whoever you are. Is that Scarbrand of Zongors? No, you didn't have Zongors. That is a big-ass corn army, though. Holy shit! 3 Chosen of Khorne, 3 Exalted Bloodletters, 3 Skull Crushers, a Khorne's Bloody Fist, Scarbrand, more Chosen, Minotaurs. Holy shit, Berserk! How many funds did you get? Because my strategy was to take the minimum funds offered to me, because the raid boss got to decide how many funds they get and then just divide it by 3 for the other players. I went with the minimum to limit the other guys, and I thought that was a good strategy. But apparently Berserk was like, fuck it! Give me all the money! I don't care what they bring! Holy shit. That's so much money! Look what he has to fight. A Mutalith Vortex Beast, a Final Transmutation caster, a Soul Stealer caster, Troll Guts healing for the Mutalith Vortex Beast, 3 fucking giants. Oh, that looks awful. Berserk, why would you do that to yourself? Oh, the finals is here. The finals is here. All right, I got finals for both players. I just saved the one that was sent to me first, but I legitimately have no idea who wins. Let's go. What's tomorrow, 9 a.m. your time? 11.5 hours from right now, Phoenix King. I'm pretty much going to end this stream, work out, go to bed, wake up, stream. All right, final matchup. I keep saying it, but just a reminder for everybody, who cares? This is for honor. This is for pride. But the top 8 already qualified for this event. This is just to see who wins this specific event and gets first dibs on faction, though. We had 8 different factions. No, we did have 2 Empires in the top 8, and we had 2 Chaos Dwarves in the top 8. So yeah, actually, Umai's might have to pick a different faction if JMG sticks with his Chaos Dwarves. Umai's would be kicked off of it. Hold on. Hold on. So, one of my patrons, Big JP, requested that I show more Cat on the stream. So here is Cat. He actually did request that. He messaged me the other day. Here you go, JP. Here's Ed. Little Ed. He's upset because his sister Hazel, my dog, is with Grace at her parents' house tonight. And he's like, Dad, it's lonely here. Where's that dog that likes to chase me around? Yeah, you love Hazel, don't you? But it's a secret. You don't want anybody to know. Who's my good boy? Alright. Focus up, everybody. Focus up. Finals time. Finals time. Stop shrinking the thing. Shrink the camera, you fuck. Sorry. My streaming software thought I wanted to shrink Warhammer 3, not my camera. Which stream? Oh, the raid boss. Sorry, Phoenix King. I thought you said, what time is that? Yeah, the raid boss, the 3v1 stream. Alright. For JMG, we have 4 Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits deployed behind the Empire lines. We have 3 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, including Oglacon's whatever boys. Hashut's Dark Ravagers, the Bull Centaur Render's regular Regiment of Renown. And then Chaos Dwarf Warriors across the front line. And Bro Fuego, a Fire Sorcerer Prophet, up there. For the Empire, we have Zintler's Reichsguard in the Vanguard. They do have Vanguard and ITP as their special things. Front line of Spearmen and Swordsmen, Balthazar Gelt on horseback with Plague of Rust and Searing Doom. A Beastcaster with only Amber Spear and Blast. He's looking, if his enemy had Infernal Ironsworn, he wants to get on the side of them and fire that down the line. That is definitely why he has that. Then we have 2 Outriders, a War Wagon with regular 360 shooting, 2 Mortars, more Empire Knights, Sterling's Revenge. That's about it. It's a pretty diverse Empire build. Butcher of Kalkengard in your lap? Yeah, he's a little moo cow. Chaos Dwarf Lord dives in, but he is immediately surrounded by Empire Knights and shot at by the Sterling's Revenge, who are currently obstructed, so they can't get any shots off. More Outriders and War Wagons are showing up, and this is looking like a dangerous time to be a giant bull man. Elsewhere, the Chaos Dwarves are moving up, and now these Hobgoblins, they were hiding in the back, trying not to get spotted until the time was right. Now they're moving up, and they're immediately throwing their volleys, so they're going to get spotted. But those are just Outriders. They're not armored at all, so they're taking a lot of damage from those volleys. And it's getting a little spooky. And unfortunately for the Empire, this obstruction, they've just not been able to shoot at this guy and punish the over-aggression from him. So he will get away scot-free with his transgressions, and then a nice burning head down the Free Company Militia will get a lot of damage down with the Hobgoblin flank too. This went from fine/good for the Empire to a complete disaster in the blink of an eye as everything is going to shit. Their front line is falling apart as Hashut's Dark Ravagers dive through and shut down some mortars. The Free Company Militia are almost routing, getting chased around by Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and both mortars are offline in all intents and purposes. There we go. Now they're actually offline. Empire Knights trying to peel the backline from these Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, but with Bull Centaur Renders helping them out, it is turning into a mass rout. I see a bunch of blinking red circles everywhere with these white flags over them, and that makes me think things are not going well for our friends, the Empire. Zintler's Reichsguard are here, though, with their own flank attempt, though unfortunately for them, they are still a non-armor-piercing cav rear-charging Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Hashut's Dark Ravagers rout off the War Wagons. Everything has gone to complete shit for the Empire. And I'm going to call it early. I think this is a Chaos Dwarf W. I really don't know what the Empire could do from this perspective. Their Outriders are okay, Zintler's Reichsguard's okay, but that is not enough to carry this game against a very healthy Bull Centaur Render. Another very healthy Bull Centaur Render. Oof, that's already damning. Outriders trying to get some shots onto the, Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I'm not used to it being in a different language, so when I see it and it's not what I'm used to seeing, I kind of stall for a second thinking I misunderstood what this is. Bounce Power's getting held up by 2 different casters, both at full HP. If they had taken significant damage, I think we would already be in army losses territory, as the Zintler's Reichsguard are now fighting with Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits sneaking up on these Outriders. There's a quick little burning head, just for some more poke. I think he was trying to catch the Outriders, but couldn't quite do it. Ooh, it might still catch them. Nah, they're too fast. They'll get past it. They'll be fine. Gelt is living on borrowed time as Oglacon's wolf boys are shooting at him. And the Fuego caster decides not to go over to Gelt. He instead tries to dive on Zintler's Reichsguard, who are fighting these Bull Centaur Renders. The Bull Centaur Renders probably just turn and fight. I know they're trying to get away from the spears right now, but they're plenty far away, and now they're just taking rear attacks for free. So, turn and fight. I also think that Burning Head, maybe he just thinks the game is over and is kind of lazy about it, but the Burning Head would have been better used on this last healthy Spearman to just force your opponent to have no chaff left to hide behind. Bull Centaur Renders do get a Cascading Fire Cloak, which will allow them to put the real hurt on the Zintler's Reichsguard. Army losses is closing in, and I definitely agree. I do not think there's a hope for the Empire left, as both Outriders are routed off. That is GG. A very, very impressive run from JMG. He looks crisp all night. I really didn't see that many mistakes out of him. His builds were creative and fun. Kind of reminded me of the Flying Taco playstyle, where you take some stuff that everybody thinks is bad, but then you just play so good with it that it looks amazing. Because in that, I mean, the Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits look really fucking good. I've never seen them look good before, because they always just suck and die. But JMG played great. Hannonins, of course, also played great to get to the finals. But he got Hobgoblin Sneaky Gitted. I appreciate the Zintler's Reichsguard and his love of the Outriders, but it was not enough this time. Chaos Dwarves will win the first Faction War Qualifier. And that is that. I will ask the players off stream what factions they want to play, because it is said on the tournament page that you don't have to play as the faction you qualify as, so technically JMG doesn't have to play Chaos Dwarves in the Faction War if he doesn't want to. The most people did just sign up as whatever faction they felt like playing. And that is it. What's left? Tomorrow morning, I'll be casting the Raid Boss event, the 3v1. And then Sunday morning, we will have another tournament just like this, but at a European-friendly time zone for another Faction War Qualifier. That'll populate our bracket of 32. And then we'll get that started. So the 8 black boxes are now filled in by Rocket Row, JMG, Dr. Nerd, Anti-Kaiju, Odium's Hannidins, Umai's, Pigman 202, and the Phoenix King. Do we have double? Yeah, there's 2 Empires, and there's 2 Chaos Dwarves. Umai's and JMG, and then Dr. Nerd and Hannidins. Anyway, I'm ending the stream there. Have a good night, everybody. Happy Friday. See you tomorrow morning, bright and early.